My beloved child, listen to me now. Do not delay. Do not turn away. Do not let your attention drift even for a moment. This is not an ordinary pause in your day. This is not just another message passing through your life. This moment is marked. These words did not reach you by accident, and you did not arrive here by chance. I am speaking to you now because heaven has appointed this moment, and what you do with it matters more than you realize. I am calling you by love, not by fear. I am speaking with urgency, not to rush you into confusion, but to draw you into alignment. There are moments when love whispers, and there are moments when love speaks clearly because time matters. This is one of those moments. Not tomorrow. Not later. No. I know how tired you are. I know how long the road has felt. I know how many times you have waited, hoped, prayed, and then quietly wondered if anything would ever truly change. I know the strength you learned to wear so others would not see how disappointed you felt inside. I know the questions you swallowed because you did not want to sound ungrateful. I know the nights you stared at the ceiling asking if your life would ever shift. And I tell you plainly, today is different. Today is marked in heaven. Today carries weight. Today carries a gift prepared long before you knew how to ask for it. Open your heart now. Not cautiously. Not partially. Fully. Obedience opens doors that waiting alone cannot. Waiting prepared you, but obedience moves you. And you are standing at a moment where movement matters. You may be asking yourself, is this really for me? Listen carefully. If this were not for you, you would not be here. I do not interrupt lives without reason. I do not call my children without purpose. You are not early. You are not late. You are exactly where you are meant to be, hearing exactly what you need to hear. Some blessings are tied to timing. Not because my love is limited, but because moments pass. And this moment is alive right now. I see heaven leaning in. I see angels attentive. I see prayers rising that you thought were forgotten, buried under time and disappointment. Your miracle is already prepared. It is not being debated. It is not being formed. It is not waiting on a decision. It is ready. What remains is your response. Will you open your heart now, or will fear convince you to delay joy one more time? I know your story. I know the nights you whispered my name through tears when no one else could hear you. I know the days you showed up for everyone else while your own heart felt empty. I know the promises you stopped speaking out loud because you were afraid to hope again. I know how many times you told yourself to expect less so it would hurt less. But my child, today I ask you to expect me. Not cautiously. Not half-heartedly. Fully. Urgency does not mean danger. Urgency means opportunity. It means alignment. It means heaven and earth are meeting at this point in your life. I'm not angry with you. I'm not disappointed in you. I am pleased with you. And it brings joy to my heart that you are still listening because it tells me you have not stopped trusting me completely. You have been standing at the edge of change without realizing it. You felt restlessness in your spirit. You felt a quiet stirring you could not explain. You felt dissatisfaction with what once felt acceptable. That was me. I was preparing you. I was softening the soil of your heart so that what I speak now could take root quickly. Some seeds grow slowly. Some moments require immediate planting. This is one of those moments. Do not underestimate what happens when you respond quickly to my voice. Delay has robbed you before. You waited for certainty, for confirmation, for reassurance, and fear disguised itself as wisdom. But today I speak clearly, your miracle is not waiting on proof. It is waiting on trust. Trust does not mean you understand everything. Trust means you open your heart even when questions remain. I'm not asking you to run blindly. I'm asking you to step willingly. I'm not asking you to be fearless. I'm asking you to be faithful. Faith often looks like listening when you are tired of disappointment. Faith looks like staying open when part of you wants to protect itself from hope. Heaven is watching you now, not to judge you but to respond to you. Every movement of your heart matters. Every wall you lower matters. Every quiet yes you whisper matters. I am closer than you realize. I am speaking gently but firmly because I love you too much to let you miss what has been prepared for you. There are doors that only open when you respond immediately. Not because I rush you but because delay gives doubt time to speak. Doubt will tell you to wait until you feel ready. But readiness is not a feeling. Readiness is obedience. And you are more ready than you think. You have learned how to survive. Today I am calling you to receive. Survival taught you endurance. Receiving will teach you how to live. Do not confuse caution with wisdom in this moment. Wisdom is hearing my voice and responding while it is clear. This clarity you feel right now is not accidental. It will not linger forever if ignored. That is why I speak with urgency and love together. I know your fears. I know the voice that says, "What if nothing happens again?" I know the memories of past disappointment that make you guard your heart. But hear me clearly, this is not the same season. This is not the same moment. You are not the same person. I am doing something new. And it requires a new response. Even your hesitation has not driven me away. I am still here. Still calling. Still offering. But I will speak truth to you because love does not remain silent when destiny is near. This moment matters. What you choose now will shape what unfolds next. Let go of the need to control how the miracle arrives. Let go of the demand to understand every step. Let go of the fear that whispers, "You are asking for too much." You are not asking for too much. You are asking me. And I am enough. You see only the next step. I see the entire path. And the next step is enough. You do not need to carry the whole journey in your mind. You only need to say yes in your spirit. Heaven responds to yes. Heaven moves when faith speaks. Heaven rejoices when my children trust me enough to open their hearts without delay. Do not scroll past this moment in your life. Do not treat it as just another message. I'm speaking to you personally, intentionally, lovingly. You asked for change. You asked for relief. You asked for a sign. This is your sign. This is your invitation. This is your moment. And what comes next will confirm what I am speaking now. My beloved child, come closer and listen carefully. I want you to know this with certainty, beyond doubt, beyond fear. This moment was planned long before you were born. Before your name was spoken on earth, before your first breath, I saw this hour. I saw you reaching this place with questions in your heart. I saw your longing for clarity. I saw your quiet hope that your life would one day match the weight you feel inside. And I prepared this moment with intention and care. Nothing in your life has been accidental. Not your birth. Not your path. Not the seasons that felt wasted or delayed. I have watched you from the beginning. When you were small and your heart trusted easily, I was there. When disappointment taught you caution, I stayed. When life hardened you, I did not leave. When you cried tears no one else saw, I saw them all. When you prayed prayers you were unsure, I heard every word. Not one tear was wasted. Not one sigh escaped my notice. You may look back and see disconnected moments, mistakes, wrong turns, delays. But I see a continuous story held together by my hand. Even the waiting you resented was written with purpose. I was shaping you. I was protecting you. I was keeping certain doors closed until your heart and strength were ready. I never forgot you. I watched you struggle to understand why things took so long. I saw how you questioned yourself, wondering if you had failed or fallen behind. I saw how comparison weighed on you, how you felt left behind as others moved forward. And still I stayed close. I did not rush you because love does not rush what it treasures. I allowed time to do its work in you, even when you did not understand why time moved the way it did. Today is not just another day. It is a turning point written long ago. A moment that divides before and after, even if it does not look dramatic on the outside. Heaven knows the weight of this hour. That stirring you feel now, the recognition, the awareness, the quiet truth settling in your spirit, that is not imagination. That is my spirit reminding you that you are exactly where you need to be. Every painful step brought you closer to this moment. Every disappointment that taught you endurance. Every loss that deepened your compassion. Every unanswered prayer that stretched your faith. I know it did not feel purposeful at the time. I know the waiting felt lonely. But I was working quietly, aligning what you could not see, holding back what would have overwhelmed you, preparing what would one day bless you. I was present in every season, not only the ones you celebrate. I was present in confusion. I was present in heartbreak. I was present in silence. I carried you when you thought you were standing alone. The strength you wondered about came from me. I know your fears. I know your hopes. I know the dreams you buried because waiting hurt too much. None of that pushed me away. It drew me closer. Heaven is leaning in now because you are standing at the edge of something meaningful. And this is only the beginning. My beloved child, stay with me. Do not pull away now. What I am speaking to you goes deeper than encouragement. It reaches into the hidden places of your story where understanding was missing and wounds were left unanswered. I know you have carried questions for a long time. Questions you asked in prayer. Questions you whispered in exhaustion. Questions you stopped asking out loud because it hurt too much to hope for an answer. You asked me why the road was so hard. Why the answers did not come when you needed them most. Why silence seemed to stretch longer than you could bear. Hear me clearly now and let this truth settle gently but firmly into your heart. The waiting was never a punishment. The silence was never rejection. The pain was never meaningless. I did not turn away from you in those seasons. I leaned closer. I allowed the waiting because I was preparing you, not pushing you aside. I allowed the silence because I was working deeper than words could reach. I allowed the pain not because I delight in suffering, but because there were things within you that could only be shaped through endurance, compassion, and quiet strength. I know how lonely the waiting felt. I know how abandoned you believed you were. I know how many nights you lay awake asking me to speak, to move, to do something, anything, to show you that you were not forgotten. You were never abandoned. When your prayers felt like they hit the ceiling and fell back down, I was listening. When your tears soaked your pillow and your heart felt too heavy to explain, I was holding you. When you questioned your worth and wondered if you were strong enough to keep going, I was strengthening you quietly from within. Not one tear was wasted. Not one night of pain was overlooked. You blamed yourself for the delays. You wondered if you missed something, if you made the wrong choice, if you were not faithful enough. I want to lift that weight from your heart now. You were not being punished. You were being protected. There were things you asked for that you were not yet ready to carry. Not because you were weak, but because the blessing itself required a deeper foundation than you had at the time. I love you too much to give you something that would crush you under its weight. The waiting taught you patience you did not know you possessed. The silence taught you to listen beyond noise. The pain softened your heart so you could love more deeply and understand others more fully. These were not lessons you asked for, but they were lessons that shaped you into someone who can now receive what once would have overwhelmed you. While nothing seemed to be happening on the surface, I was building roots deep within you. Quietly, patiently, purposefully. I know you felt left behind while others moved forward. I know comparison made the waiting heavier. You watched doors open for others while yours remained closed, and you wondered what you were doing wrong. You were not being measured against anyone else. I was guiding you on a path designed uniquely for you. Your timing was different because your calling is different. What I am preparing you for requires depth. It requires resilience. It requires a heart that knows both sorrow and hope. You learned how to survive seasons you never thought you would endure. You learned how to stand when you wanted to collapse. You learned how to keep believing even when belief felt fragile. These are not small things. Strength was forming in you quietly, without applause, without recognition, without immediate reward. But it was real. And it remains within you now. I saw you try to be strong for everyone else while you were breaking inside. I saw you smile when you wanted to cry. I saw you carry responsibilities that felt too heavy for your heart. I never expected you to carry them alone. I was with you even when you felt unsupported. I was giving you endurance not to trap you in suffering, but to prepare you for freedom. Freedom often requires strength, and strength is often born in silence. The unanswered prayers were not ignored prayers. They were prayers waiting for the right season. Some answers require time to unfold. Some require people to change. Some require circumstances to align. Some require your heart to heal first. I was working in ways you could not see, protecting you from outcomes that would have caused more harm than good. My timing was guided by love, not indifference. Release the guilt you have carried. You did not fail me by struggling. You did not disappoint me by feeling tired. You did not weaken your faith by asking questions. I'm not threatened by your honesty. I'm moved by it. Let go of the belief that you had to be perfect to be loved. You were loved through every imperfect moment. Now you can look back and see how much you have grown, even if you still feel tender. You are stronger than you were, not hardened but wiser. More compassionate. More patient. More aware of what truly matters. This strength did not arrive loudly. It was formed in the shadows, shaped in moments no one else witnessed. And now you are ready for what once would have overwhelmed you. What is ahead of you requires the very things you gained in the waiting. It requires the depth you developed in silence. It requires the resilience you built in pain. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was meaningless. Every step, every delay, every tear played a role in preparing you for this season. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. My beloved child, listen to me with your whole heart now, because I need you to understand something clearly and without confusion. The miracle you have been praying for is not far away. It is already moving toward you. It is not a distant promise. It is not a future possibility. It is not waiting to be decided. It is already in motion. Even now, as you hear these words, heaven is active on your behalf. You have spent so long looking ahead, wondering when things would finally change, wondering how much longer you would have to endure. But the movement has already begun.